Well, we're back off the bye week, getting you ready for Syracuse and Louisville this upcoming Friday night. Brian Higgins here at home. Across town in the football auditorium is Kingsley Jonathan. And Kingsley, how'd you guys spend the bye week? What happened over the last couple weeks that you think led you guys to making some progress here?
We took a lot. We took some time to rest and recover to get our minds right. Then we went after the weekend and throughout the week, and guys are ready to go.
That feels like an important thing that you guys still feel like you're fighting for it here at this point of the year. The record is what it is. We know that's not what you want it to be. How did you notice that side of things in this week off?
That's something I've really been proud of for the young guys that's playing right now. There's no quitting us. Like the guys are still here to play. We're not gonna play to lose. We're trying to win the rest of the rest of the season out. And that's something we've come a long way with, and I'm proud that we keep going with it.
How hard is that for you guys to push, or easy, or whatever it is for you guys to push as the veterans, considering how many young guys there are? I mean, just looking at the defense, it's the D-line and Iffy, and everybody else is either a freshman or a sophomore. You got a freshman starting quarterback now in Jacoby, and a freshman running back in Sean Tucker. We can go on and on. How is that balance right now with so few veterans and so many young guys?
Those young guys, they've come a long way, man. We've asked so much of them throughout the season, and they've always delivered. And I trust them behind me. I trust that those guys are going to be in position. I trust those guys are going to give their best. I trust those guys are going to come down and hit somebody, And that's something as a D line, and we're just happy to see that they've stepped up and like they keep fighting.
Speaking for the guys on defense, for sure. I mean, you know what you expected to have behind you at the beginning of the year when Cisco's coming in as an All-American, and Trill and Iffy's back there, and Iffy's still there. But when guys are going out with injuries and opt-outs and everything behind you, all these young guys coming in, what did it take for you, I guess, to earn for you to really get the trust of the guys behind you to expect that they'd be in the right place and do the right thing?
Yeah, we had to bring them along. Our coaches did a great job of like preparing them at the short period of time we had. When Cisco went out, Rob jumped in and played wonderful, And our coaches did a great job in preparing the guys. And just for me and the D-line, bringing them along in practice, yelling at them when they're out of position in this, and like bringing them along. They've come a long way, and like I'm just proud that these guys are still fighting with us.
You mentioned Rob Hanna, who's been in there, Jahad Carter. We could go on and name all these guys. The one thing that stood out to me, Kingsley, is that, yeah, there have been mistakes, and they're freshmen, and that's going to happen. But all of them have made plays at some point. Is that something that stands out to you that says, okay, these guys are capable of doing something good? We just got to eliminate some mistakes. That the fact that they showed the good thing has to be encouraging to you veterans.
Yes, most definitely. Like we know they're playmakers. If they put them in position to make plays, they're going to make the plays, and that's what we need. And we trust them to make the plays. Mm-hmm. So that's the big thing with us. So we just got to do our job and trust them that they can do their job.
For you as a senior this year, and for all you guys as seniors, it's a different season than it would normally be, considering the options you will have when this year comes to an end. Whether you want to wrap up your college career, whether you don't, you have all these things to go on. I'd say first off, how are you going to go about making that decision when this year comes to an end?
That's a decision I have to make with my family, and I'm thinking about it, and it's in the back burner of my head right now. And that's not something I'm focused on right now. And now I'm focused on like finishing the season strong, But that's definitely something I'm still thinking about.
Yeah, I guess part two of that question is, when do you go about making a decision like that?
I guess it'll be like the last week. The last game week, against Notre Dame.
All right, so we still got some time. We'll check in with Kingsley toward the end of the year and all these seniors. It's an unusual year. This is not a thing. Usually it would be senior day, the whole thing, and we'd kind of know where it's at. And that's not the case this year. But Kingsley, because you have been around a while, you are a senior, you're up for an exciting list of awards this year. It just came out this week. You're a semifinalist for the Jason Witten Man of the Year Award, which is really based on leadership both on and off the field. When you got that news, how did that strike you?
I found it out today after practice, and I was set back, and I was just proud to be in the same sentence with our award. I didn't know what that award was until the beginning of the season, and I'm just honored that they chose me to represent them in that standard.
We know Jason, he's one of the NFL Man of the Year award winners during his time with the Cowboys, now with the Raiders at this point. But when you look at what goes into it and what you've done, I mean, you've been involved in ACC committees, NCAA committees, charitable work in Syracuse. I mean, we could list everything that you've done. Your hoodie drive last year was such a great success. What drives you to be involved in all of this stuff?
I would say is taking advantage of the position I'm in. Like, I know how blessed I am to be in this position because there's a lot of people that we wish to be in this position. So my plan coming in Syracuse was make the most of everything that I had. Like, we had extra hoodies. I saw people freezing under the bridge. Nobody had hoodies on. I called the guys together. Come on, let's put some hoodies on it and send it over there. I mean, those are the kind of things that I think about, and just being able to help where I can and just remind myself that I'm blessed to be in the position I am,
To be able to do something like that, and we talk about it, you're on NCAA committees that talk about what is going to be for student athletes in the future. You're on the committee that's part of choosing the next ACC commissioner. But you always mention the hoodie thing specifically. Like, does it stand out to you that one and things like that, you were able to see, like, immediately the legitimate results of what you were working on?
that one was personal to me. That was I took it upon myself to make sure that we saw that true, and that's like a baby to me because it's very important. That same year that I thought about that, we read a stat about how many people died in Chicago streets, froze to death, and it's important to realize how blessed you are sometimes and try to give back to who you can give back to.
Okay, well, really cool that you're doing stuff like that, and hopefully that leads you toward the top of that list. We'll see if you can take home that Jason Witten Man of the Year award, but I'm sure every one of the nominees has some story like you do, so pretty cool to be involved in the group that you're involved with. All right, Kingsley, it's Louisville this week. You guys have been through the opt-outs and the injuries this year, most recently with Trill, and we mentioned with Cisco. Louisville this week had it happen with their best player, Javian Hawkins, a future NFL running back, opted out earlier this week. What's that like for you guys now to prepare against a team that will be themselves without their best guy?
They still have their quarterback was a real good threat, and we're still preparing them the same way. They have athletes there that can make plays, that can bust open runs, big runs down the field, and we still locked in like nobody opted out. Like, they're still the strongest. That's how we prepare. So we're going to be ready for them,
And lastly, for you, Kingsley, you played in these Friday night games before. What's it like for you to get out there on the national stage here this week?
Yeah, it feels good to play on Friday, so you can sit back and watch the rest of the other teams go out there and try to get a win. It feels good to just go on Friday and the Friday night lights, and I'm just pumped for the rest of the guys so we can get out there and ball.
All right, Kingsley, sounds good. Enjoy the trip to Louisville this week, and we'll see you out there on Friday night.
Appreciate it, man.